Hey, all right, good morning. Welcome to the next battlefield. We are on the northern plains on the border between Muirfield and Streatham, which is the two farthest north regions on in the Charc Campaign. We'll be playing a game of Infamy Infamy today on a 14 foot wide, 5 foot, 14 foot, yeah, wide, 5 foot long, whatever, whichever way you want to look at it, battlefield. Where we'll see the forces of Eurelia fight the forces of Time Warden again, as usual. These guys don't like each other, so we got two more baronies that haven't gone to war yet, trying to get involved. I'll just get some low-level shots of the battlefield. I think in the last one, on the plains of Bournemouth, what's a squeaky one? It was like a force morale 1 versus a force morale of 0. That was a bloodbath. I've never seen one come down to that one. And yeah. So most of the Time Wardens have had the upper hand on this campaign so far. We'll see. I did get a couple more units done that are going to make their first appearance on the battlefield. One, I've upgraded the spear infantry for both sides with an extra 6 guys. So now they're 8 guys, excuse me. So now they're at 3 groups of 8, which is the standard unit for most of these guys. We've also added the last 2 mercenary forces, the Osmanian nomads and the Kaldani pikemen. So they'll be making their appearances. They'll probably get slaughtered like usual, but that's the way it goes for new guys. We'll see. This whole battlefield is going to be an epic nightmare, hopefully. So that's the plan. Standard infamy game. All of the except all the forces will be able to spawn at anywhere on their particular side. The Time Wardens will come in over on this side of the battlefield. The Aurelians on that side. They can come in at any point along their the side they control. There won't be any ambushing. Even the Immortals of Shubi are going to lose their ability to come out like fanatics and charge out of another group. Everyone's going to come in from the side. I will let the Shubians come in with their 6 morale like they were, or their 6 fervor. The other 3 units will have to build it up like standard. 9 commanders per side. We've got level 4s all the way down to level 1s. We'll go over the units after we go over the actual battlefield itself and some of the terrain. And I think that's a good intro. All right, let's do it. All right, this will be the battle of the 2 rivers. So you got one river at this side and you got a river at the other side. Features of the battlefield: you got some farmhouses here. Fields will take off a tick off each off movement, but they won't provide any cover. Trees, if you're in them, you get cover, but you can't see through them. So we've got 4 bunches of trees. Moving through them will be typical for the rules. Going up hills will slow up a pip. Take a pip off each dice going up. If you can't see, you can't shoot. Stone walls will be hard cover, but they won't be really hard to cross. They'll be minor obstacles, but they'll provide decent cover. And then the wooden fences won't do much at all. And then, of course, you're hiding behind buildings or trees. You can't bore behind a hill. You can't be seen. Pretty simple. Water's not passable, but really there's no point. And, well, I guess an archer unit could cross over a bridge and then have that as just shielding, but we'll see. Using the same dice roll as I have in the ACW campaign, if you can control these 3 regions, the 2 farming areas and then the intersection, the center, you get a bonus to force morale that'll cap out at 11. Leading the forces of Eurelian, they're actually the Baron of Streatham, Baron Rory McFarland, level 4 leader, leading the heavy cavalry. He's got 6 of them, not including himself. Brother Maynard, it is at his disposal if they get into some kind of shock issue. They can bring him in to try to rouse the troops. No bourbon this time. Sorry, buddy. This ain't Kentucky. Oh, and the Baron's a level 4 leader. Lord Terrence Wood, he's a level 3 leader. He's leading the Foot Knights. He's got the bannerman for the barony, sorry, He's also got a musician, so they don't have they have musician rules in here that increases the range. I'm also gonna, they don't have banner rules, so I'm going to lay anyone in his command range that when they need to take a morale test, they'll get a +1 to that if they're in range of the banner. So it's kind of nice. You work with the banner and the musician together will boost out his range, especially with a level 3 leader. It'll give him a pretty good boost to, so he'll want to be in the center of the battlefield trying to help out as much as possible. Leading the foot sergeants is Sir Hubert Skinner. He's got 3 groups of 8 foot sergeants. They've got he's a level 2 leader, and they'll be doing their thing. Next to them are the newly expanded heavy spear infantry, and they're led by a level 2 leader, Sir Zach Graves. And yeah, those guys will be the main force for the Aurelians. Then you got the skirmishers, yes. 3 groups of 8 again. You feel the theme. This is Sir Ethan Bridges, another level 2 leader. So all the 3 main groups all have level 2 leaders with them. So there's plenty of infamy cards in the deck too, so she got a lot of stuff going on here. Hopefully we can get a decent battle. Leading the archers is Sir Cyric Bastille, level 1 leader. He's got 12 archers, and next to him is Sir Uthred Donner, level 1 leader. He's got the same but crossbowmen. Making their first appearance on the channel. Super psyched. Not too positive about what's going to happen to him. Pike Captain Arthur Draconis, level 3 leader. He's got 3 groups of 8 Kaldani pikemen. They'll always be in close order, so that would limit them to 1d6 movement. But since they are professional troops and all they do is practice all day long in close order, they'll get a +3 of their movement every time. And then charging them will be an utter nightmare for the first 2 rounds as you try to fight your way through their wall of steel. Attacking in the flanks will be able, or in the rear, will negate that bonus. And then leading the Children of the Night, you love them, you hate them. Pasha Hamza Zakir, 3 groups of 8 Immortals of Shubia. They're ready to get crazy. They'll miss their insane ability of coming out of a unit, but they'll do their best to slaughter this time. They're always a fan favorite. Leading the forces of Timoria, we've got Baron Cassian Helsworth of Muirfield. He's a level 4 leader. He's got his 4 heavy cavalry. He's got the, you know him, the plague doctor with his saws and his knives and everything else. So he'll be able to come in and heal a wound of a leader if they get wiped out or injured. Leading a group of 8 heavy foot knights and carrying the banner of the barony is Lord Carl Frestrick. He's level 3 leader. He's also got a musician with him banging on the drums, so they'll be looking to play a key role in the battlefield as well. And all the foot knights have that martial training, so they get those extra additional defense dice like they have in the past battles. Sir Arthur Wall is level 2 leader, leading 3 groups of 8 foot sergeants. And you've got Sir Mordred Pace, level 2 leader, leading 3 groups of 8 heavy spearmen. Got that couple new guys, yes. Leading 3 groups of 8 light infantry, Sir Melvin Garrett, level 2 leader. Sir Robin Lothar is a level 1 leader, leading 12 archers, and then leading 12 crossbowmen. Next to him is Sir Derek Jacks. So the difference between archers and crossbowmen, the archers have a longer range. The crossbowmen will -1 off will reduce the armor by 1 just because of their power. Leading the opposite of the Immortals of Shubia are the Osmanian nomads. Iman Abu Kosani, level 3 leader. 4 groups of 8 Osmanian nomads. They're basically javelin beasts. They're going to have the Viper rule and all that good stuff. They'll be able to trade in fervor for extra javelins too. So, yay. They'll be pretty devastating. And then team hack and slash, Thane Rolf Worgensen leading, he's a level 3 leader, leading the Berserkers of Odenheim. This is kind of close to home for them. They're the province right above this, so yay. 3 groups of 8, all axes. They reduce armor by 2, and they'll be looking to slaughter. Tell you what, I'm especially pumped for this game. 1, I've been sick, and 2, I've been painting my fingers to the bone, which is cool. But yeah, this is the reward. Taking the units you painted and taking them out there to slaughter. Per usual, be patient, guys. I haven't played Infamy in a little while, and then going back and forth between that and Charc practice, I'm gonna make some mistakes, but let's hope this is entertaining for both of us. It's force morale time. It'd be even for each side. These guys haven't fought before, neither one of these armies. This is the Timordans attacking, starting to be a bit more amped up. The Aurelians are like, oh god, here they come. So, yep, they got to defend their border. Draw the infamy cards next. So we're playing this like a Civil War game. Each side will get 2. Timordans drew first because they have the higher force morale. All right, the Timordans have the Assassin card. I'll give you a minute to read that. And they also have the Spy card. Good, those are helpful. And the Aurelians get the Onanist, which I always love pronouncing, and the Deceiver. So, we got different things to play with here. I don't have Pelums, but I do have lots of Javelins, so I'll take advantage of that. That would be a good card for the Osmanian Nomads, but too bad, so sad. The Aurelian Light Infantry will take advantage of that. So after that, we're playing basically typical Infamy. Each side will have 5 Signa cards in hand. I think there's 4 each for each side. We're playing with the full deck. I'm not playing the full deck of cards, but they are. And so there's already cards in there. I remember it takes 4 flags in a row for random events in this game, not 3. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm trying to remember. I think that's right. I'm shaking off the COVID and the cobwebs. The CNC. And yeah. Boom, I think it's game time. Let's get this battle going. Ooh, okay. I'm thinking that's Union Cavalry. I gotta get into my head that's not. Alright, blue 9 is the Berserkers of Odenheim. They're gonna come in. This ain't no, there ain't no ambushes, so I gotta roll their fervor when they come in, all 3 groups. They deploy onto the southern end of the battlefield, heading to secure this objective up here. They're going to try to boost the force morale for the team. They move in 11 inches. They go 9 inches off deployment, plus 2 inches for the slowest unit. 2 of the groups have 2 fervor, and the center group has 3. So they're pretty amped up coming in. They're ready for the slaughter. The Aurelians are like, are those lumberjacks, or are they, oh crap, they're berserkers. They're not coming for the trees, baby. They're coming for your heads. Oh, it's all Team Timordia. The Baron leads his 6 heavy cavalry mounted knights onto the battlefield right in the center. Kind of throwing down the gauntlet, saying, man, we're going for it. See if you can stop me. Ooh, I think that's my pikeman. And nothing will slow down a group of heavy cavalry. It's like a wall of 20-foot tall sharpened spears. The pikemen are on. They're in close order, moving onto the battlefield 6 inches. They do get fervor, so they'll roll their dice too. See how they can do. All 3 groups have 2 fervor, close order. Be an additional 2 inches plus the 3 inches they get for their bonus. So they'll be going 1d6 plus 5 right now when they move. First blue flag on top of the 5 they got in their hand. Something they can do later probably. Red 5. Level 2 leader Sir Ethan Bridges brings on his Aurelian light infantry in skirmish order, protecting the flank of the pikemen. They're definitely, I'll be looking to try to attack them in the flank if possible from over here. But they're going to lock down this side. They move in 9 inches. Red 3. Sir Hubert Skinner moves on his 3 groups of 8 foot sergeants in medium armor with all kinds of fun implements of killing onto the battlefield to the right of the pikemen, kind of tying in the flanks here. Still got a little bit of room to the right, but plenty of stuff still to deploy. Just got to make sure we don't forget about who's coming to dinner. Oh yeah, berserkers. Blue 6. Sir Robin Lothar, level 1 leader, brings on to the north side of the battlefield. Head for this stone wall in the trees. Looks like good cover to me, with his 12 longbowmen. Uh-oh. The other Baron. He's not going to sit idly by while the other guy's in the middle of the battlefield. Before I do those holy guardsmen of the guardsmen of the holy seer, I don't know what the hell I'm going to do with those guys, but I definitely need to make my cavalry units more robust for this. So I got to paint more cavalry in the future. Probably some more foot knights too. I got to crank those guys up as well. But those guys move on to the battlefild. They go in between the foot sergeants and the pikemen, just to counter the. On the other side of the hill is his adversary, the other Baron. Red 6. Sir Cyric Bastille, level 1 leader, brings on his group of 12 archers behind the pikemen, planning on supporting this push in the center. They're going in pretty heavy here. Maybe too heavy? I don't know. We'll find out later. Uh-oh, there we go. Time Ordens bring on leader number 3. Sir Arthur Wall brings on his 24 foot sergeants to the right of his Baron. He's got to counter. They can't even see it, but they can feel it. They can feel the Aurelians massing in the center. They don't have like a Reaper drone up there keeping an eye on them, so they also are going to have to pack the center to counter that one. Aurelians really getting the march on these guys, especially if the Tempest Fusion comes out. Baron McFarlane going all in on the center push, bringing the crossbowmen behind the foot sergeants. Now you've got a really solid line of battle here with 2 groups of missile troops behind your main thrust. Plus you got skirmishers out protecting your left. They got lots of room to their right and left. They have to, take advantage of here, or cover. Wow, more of them. Now we got red 2. The Lord High Constable brings on his group of 8 foot knights, along with the musician and the banner of the region, the barony. The banner of the barony. It's like the Italian battalions. He's just left of the pikemen, so he continues this theme of packing the center. First red flag. Flags are pretty mundane in the first turn. It's not like you can activate units again in this game, as far as I know. Blue 5. Sir Melvin Garrett leads his light infantry onto the battlefield for Timordia on the north end, kind of moving to occupy this region. Good wide spread by the Timordans. They're using the whole battlefield. Aurelian's not quite there yet. They're going to bunch up. 3 blue flags. And there's the hoo-yah, hoo-yah. Turn ins, we've got no, it's just deployment first turn, so we still got some a lot of units not on the battlefield, but that was a pretty good deployment for first turn. Got the Berserkers of Odenheim down here, kind of in the southern end of the battlefield, not quite opposed yet. Eyeing to capture that community, get a little morale boost for the team is paying him. Aurelian's massing in the center. Typical, very classic battle formation. Maybe the cavalry behind would have been a bit more classic, but who knows? Time Wardens quite haven't countered with all that right now. They couldn't hold out against that, but they got plenty of time for that to happen. Got their archers over here. They got their light infantry over here on the north end. All right. Shuffle the cards and be right back. All right, start the next turn. Oh, blue's over here. Blue leader 3. Is he on the battlefield yet? I don't know. We'll remember in a second here. It's Sir Arthur Wall, a level 3 leader. He is going to move forward. They're in open order. Those foot sergeants trudge forward 7 inches. They're at the base of the hill, getting ready to start the climb. Oh, have fun! Oh, red flag action. Blue flag. Oh yes, red 9. That's Pike Captain Arthur Draconis. He's going to move forward 1d6 in closed order, and he'll get an additional 5 to that. The Pikes also move forward 7 inches to counter the foot sergeants. Oh yeah, it's going to be a brawl. Second blue flag. All right, now we got 2 red flags, 2 blue flags. Ooh, that's turn. So both sides can move 2 units, and the Time Wardens will go first because they have the higher force morale. I'm gonna start off with the Berserkers of Odenheim, moving forward in. They're controlled though, but they will get an additional 2 wherever they move. They go down to 6 inches of movement. They lose 1 pip off the dice as they move through the trees into the wheat fields. The Aurelians are going to move forward their archers, but not farther than the pikemen. At least you don't have to worry about those archers passing up the pikemen. They go forward 5 inches, staying behind the pikes. Time Wardens are going to respond with the skirmish. Light infantry moving forward 3d6. They're going to lose a die because of the fence they're about to cross over. They start flowing around that house there as they move towards that objective. She'll have to steal that next, get control of that next turn. And the last move for the Aurelians will be to move their foot sergeants forward in open order. Foot sergeants move up to the edge of the trees, keeping abreast of the pikemen. Okay, quick turn. Trying to focus in on those guys down there. There they are, coming out of the woods around the trees. Sorry. Of course, you've got the Berserkers of Odenheim coming through the woods. That was a quick turn. All right, starting off with Red Leader 8. That's Pasha Hamza Zakir and the Immortals. Oh, they're coming in. They're going to move to counter their... Actually not. They're going to move to counter the light infantry at the other end, on the north side of the battlefield. They're going to let the heavy spear take care of the Berserkers of Odenheim. I almost rolled for fervor. I forgot the Immortals are always fired up. They come in with 6 fervor. They deployed 9 inches plus 6, 15 inches from the edge of the table. They're up against that fence, staring at that light infantry ahead. Might be some anxiety over there. Break out the rollates, buddies. Here come the immortals. Ooh. Blue leader 9. The Thane Rolf is going to, he's got time, he thinks. He's going to spend this turn amping his boys up. Let's see how much more fervor he can pack into these guys. He needs some more, blood power before they go crazy. And he will spend a Signa card to pump up the volume on this blood-curdling scream. Oh, they're getting fired up in the trees. Each group gets 2 more fervor. Group on the right and the group on the left both have 4, and the center group has 5 fervor. Those foot sergeants over here beyond the hill can hear that scream as the barbarians start chewing into the wood of the trees. They're like, oh, who's on our right flank? All right, blue flag. First, or blue Signa, excuse me. Oh, that is the heavy spear. Oh, cool. They get to get on the right flank. Sir Zach Graves brings his 3 groups of 8 heavy spearmen onto the battlefield down here on the south end, trying to counter these insane people. Blue 7. Group of 12 Tymorden crossbowmen into the battle behind the foot sergeants in the center. Red leader 2. Lord Terrence Wood moving up the road, bringing the banner. Not the craziest move, just 5 inches up the road. Blue leader 4. Level 2 leader Sir Mordred Pace brings the Tymorden spearmen onto the battlefield to the left of the knights. Starting to fill in the center a little bit. Could probably use some archer support, but they're way over there. All they got left are the Osmanian nomads who are scared to make their debut. And the banner still hasn't come on yet. Maybe he's trying to chase down the nomads in the battlefield with some cash. Red leader 1. Baron McFarlane moves his cavalry forward. Cavalry gets to the base of the hill. Oh yeah. All right, blue leader 1, the other Baron, they counter each other. Possibly too aggressive. They're able to breach the top of the hill. Oh, here we go. Blue flag. Oh, there they are. First appearance. Iman brings on his Osmanian nomads. Let's see how much fervor they come in on. Oh, they will spend a Signa card to pump up the volume. They come onto the battlefield 10 inches. They aren't the most pumped up. They've only got 1 fervor for all 4 groups. They should get more fired up as they start getting their eyes on the Immortals of Shubi over there, their mortal enemy. Red 7. Crossbowmen for the Aurelians will advance up behind the foot sergeants. Aurelians' advance is looking good. They're keeping pace. Sorry about that. Still coughing up this crap from COVID. Red flag. Second red flag. Red leader 5. That's the Aurelian light infantry. They're going to move forward and they're going to spend a card to step out. That was a crap roll, but they move up onto the plateau barely. They even lost some distance with the, which they couldn't afford with the going up the hill, the elevation. They can see the knights, but A little bit too far out of throwing range, which is I think 9 inches. Second blue Signa card. Oh, Tempest Fugit. So we got 2 Signas over here and 1 over here. Timordans will be moving their light infantry and their archers. We'll move their archers first. They move 5 inches obliquely, trying to support the light infantry that's probably taking a load in their shorts as the Immortals are chewing their way through those fences across the way. Aurelian's going to move their foot sergeants forward in open order and lose a pip off each dice. Foot sergeants start moving through the trees over here on the south side of the battlefield. And we'll end the turn with the Timordan light infantry moving forward against better judgment. Probably a perfect move as they move forward 4 inches. They capture the bridge objective for the time being. And the Immortals are kind of eyeing them as they're getting ready to, they're getting fired up over there. Not a long run. Woo, we'll be doing some evading. So looking from the south side to the north side, you've got the heavy spear countering the Berserkers of Odenheim. They are supported, the spearmen to the left, by the foot sergeants. We're backed up by the crossbowmen. Got the Timordan heavy spear moving onto the battlefield. Mounted knights for both sides going towards the center. You got the pikes backed up by archers. Foot knights coming up the center here. And then some light infantry. And then over here we've got foot sergeants and crossbowmen and nomads. The only person not on the battlefield right now is the High Sheriff for the Timordans. He's kind of chilling in the backfield. He's still, maybe he was just trying to herd up the Osmanian nomads now that they're out. And then over here you've got the light infantry who've just taken objective. Oh, I gotta get a bonus. They'll go up to a full score, I think, on the force morale for the Timordans. And the Immortals of Shubia totally fired up. Probably in striking distance, but they do have the evade roll. Timordans do go up to a force morale of 11. And the Aurelians are still at a force morale of 9. Alright, blue Signa card starts off this turn. Blue leader 7. Level 2 leader with the Timordan crossbowmen. Probably advanced to keep pace with the foot sergeants. They're right with them. Alright. Second blue flag. Oh yeah. Blue 9. Berserkers of Odenheim will move forward in controlled order. They're not going to cut it loose yet. They will get a +4 to this move. They move forward 7 inches, losing an inch because of the mud in the fields. But they are out of the trees and they are on the attack. Yes. Not quite close enough to get the objective yet, but they're in the ballpark. Red leader 2. Lord Terrence Wood going to continue to move up the road here. Alright, the High Lord Sheriff. He's going to get all tactical here. He's a level 3 leader with a musician and a bannerman. Bannerman doesn't do much for this. First order was to move his unit forward. Second order is going to be to have these skirmishers move forward 3d6. And if they get in range, he's going to spend a Signa card and have them throw their javelins at the mounted knights. So he'll just use his last command to order them to throw their javelins, and they'll also capture that objective momentarily for the Aurelians. And no, he won't, because the Timorden Baron is within range to counter that. So that's a detente up there. But we will see a whole lot of javelins coming in. 26 javelins making contact with 5s and 6s. Nine hits against heavy armor. One kill, 2 shock for the javelins against the against the mounted knights. Oh boy! All right, blue flag. Got three Signa cards now for the Timordens. Oh, and finally he's going to show up. Thank you for coming. Lord Festrix shows up. About time. He's got to get up here and start supporting his Baron. All right, red 4. Heavy spear will move forward 2d6 and lose a pip off each dice as they move through the mud. They advance behind this house. They're still out of striking range from the barbarians. It would take I don't know, insane amount of... They have to burn all their fervor to reach them, so there's no point bracing shields and all that stuff and getting in close order. Next turn, no, it's a whole new ball game. Red leader 3. It's the foot sergeants in the trees. They're going to move out and lose some pips with that disaster they're going through, and the hill they're about to go up. Monster motivation. I talked a little crap about them, and they freaking take the hill 10 inches on that double 6s. They're up there, baby. Blue 6. Timorden Archer is going to move forward. They move up behind that stone wall, and they are within 36 inches of the Immortals of Shubia. They can't shoot this turn, but they'll be ready for next one. Red Signet. Blue 4. That's the heavy spear. They will advance towards the front. They advance to the base of the hill. All right. Not bad for a skirmish game. Got troops all over the place. Red 8. Running out of room here. That's the crossbowmen. They got to catch up. They're going to go into skirmish order and move forward. So he used the card to increase himself to a level 2, so he can do the formation change and the move. In skirmish order, which will be 3d6. They move through the trees with no issues. Now in skirmish order, and they move up behind the foot sergeants. And the Fuge! We got 3 Signa cards for the Timordens. They're going to move their foot sergeants, they're going to move their crossbowmen, and they're going to move their Osmanian nomads. First, the foot sergeants. Just on the crest of the hill, threatening the light infantry. Here come the crossbowmen. They form up right behind the foot sergeants. They'll be able to fire over the top next turn. So last up be the Osmanian nomads. They'll move forward as skirmishers, so it's 3d6 plus 1. Really, in light infantry, better watch their flank, because here come the Osmanian nomads. They're pretty damn fast. Cruising into the Golden Corral. Alright, ends the turn. Got troops all over the place. All right, this is where it gets to the crazy part of the game. Everything's kind of in striking distance. We'll see if any of my maneuvers were actually anything decent or just nightmare, especially up here. It's going to get, these guys can go any direction. And, yeah. Should get 3 distinct different brawls going on. I could see these two getting intertwined, especially with the Berserkers of Odenheim, but, see what the cards do. All right, hang on to your hats. Starting out with a little red flag action. All right, here we go. Blue 6. Tymortan archers, they're going to unleash a volley on the Immortals of Shubia. I'm not going to spend a flag from hand. If I had one out, I would have darkened the skies, but that ain't happening. So regular 12 shots, and let's see if they hit. Three arrows make contact with the Immortals from those long archers over there. They're going to get, they have medium armor, but they're behind the fence, so they have hard, they got the heavy armor. Oh, the Immortals laugh at that. Goes off their shields. There's their flag that could have darkened the skies. Wouldn't matter with all those 2s they rolled. Oh. Blue 5. Tymortan light infantry. They're going to try to move forward into javelin range, then use that Signa card to hurl javelins at the Immortals. I got the feeling like this is like when you're poking a wasp or hornet nest with a stick. Might not be a good idea, but they're going for it. They're in range. They're going to throw 26 javelins. They didn't have to spend a extra Signa card because he's a level 2 leader, I forgot. So, God bless you. Good luck, buddies. Needed 5s and 6 to hits. They score 7 hits against the Immortals in hard cover. 6 will kill, 5 will be a shock. Split over 3 groups. Not a bad toss. 3 of the Immortals were slain. 2 in that far group and 1 in the group over here on the right. No shock. Alright. Red 8. Wouldn't you know it? It's the freaking Immortals. They're amped up. They're going to charge them, but they're going to immediately use their evade maneuver. Let's see how that goes. A highly motivated evade move by the light infantry. 12 inches scattering away. Mortals are going to come for them. I don't think they're going to get them. They're also going to lose 1 dice from going over the fence. But they will spend a Signa card to step out. And they're going uncontrolled, so all 3 units could be all over the dang place. With the joys of uncontrolled movement, those guys were all over the place. Well, the outside groups were about even. The center group had to spend 3 of its fervor to go an extra 3 inches just to get the units all back together again. So you got the 2 outside groups still have 6 fervor, and the inside group has 3. But they didn't quite make the distance. I gotta measure this if they want to see if they want to spend like all their fervor to reach these guys. So if you're not familiar with the Infamy Infamy rules, you get an extra inch for every point of fervor you have, but you can also spend that fervor to even increase the distance you go. So they are down to, center group has no fervor. The 2 outside groups both have 1. They'll make contact and they'll spend 2 Signa cards in hand to make an aggressive attack. And they automatically get, because they have some fervor, they automatically get the other attack for the, I think it's Ferocious Charge or something. So, and they're going to make contact in the rear. Oof. If you have any fervor, you make a Ferocious Charge. And then they'll spend 2 Signa cards. They have 1 in hand and 1 on the table to make an aggressive attack. This is happening all the way across the front. All 3 groups for each side will be involved in this. These guys are going to lose a lot of dice because they're getting attacked in the back. You could technically split this into 3 separate combats, and it might be a wipe with how many dice the Immortals get. But where's the fun in that, eh? The outside groups both get aggressive attack and ferocious attacks. The center group doesn't have any fervor left, so they'll just get the aggressive attack. They'll get the 3 extra dice from the Pasha on the center group as well. And they're all at their regular combats, so they're getting 8d6 per group. And then same thing on the other side. They'll get 8d6 per group, but then they'll lose half their dice. And they'll get 2 for their leader in the center. Tymordans in light armor, hitting on 4, 5s, and 6s. But if you're not familiar, 4, 5s, and 6s all cause a shock. A 6 causes a kill on top of that shock. And here they go with all their attacks. What an awesome roll. 7 kills, 7 shock. These guys are beasts. They're not going down like a bunch of wussies just because they're getting stabbed in the back by the Immortals in their pajamas. Mortals are in medium armor. But they'll make their saves later. Here they come for their attack. And a quick correction to what I said earlier. Defensive dice, if they were involved, that 4 and 5 will get rid of a shock. Just 5s and 6s here, okay? Sorry about that. Well, 5s cause a shock, 6 cause a shock and a kill. The Immortals cause 8 kills and 11 shock. We get armor saves now. So, 8 light armor saves for the Tymordans. They save 2. The Immortals need 5s and 6s to save with their medium armor saves. If 4 of those kills get through, there is a chance on a 1 that the Pasha is hit. And same odds over here on the Knight for the light infantry on a 1. Sir Melvin Garrett, one of the Immortals, jumps onto his back and starts chewing into his neck. He is injured. He's wounded. The light infantry are going to lose this combat because they lost by 2. So we'll do that breakaway thing. But first, let's see how much armor that the Immortal's able to chew through on Sir Garrett. He's now a level 1 leader. Oh, so we're going to get these guys are going to fall back, and we're going to get a bad thing for a level 2 leader injured. So at the end of all that housekeeping, the light infantry fall back 6 inches. All 3 groups have 3 shock. I think they lost 5 guys. Knight's got a minor wound. The Immortals lose 4 guys. They no longer have any fervor. Far 2 groups have, center group and the outside group both have 1 shock. Immortals seize control of this objective. Alright, and now we'll do a bad thing for a skirmish group pushback in combat and a level 2 leader wounded. Normally you don't do a bad thing for skirmishers pushback, but since these guys are warriors with flexible drill, they'll count as warriors. They lose 2 force morale and go down to 9. And that was a little rough. I mean, I hadn't done an infamy combat in a little bit, but yeah, that was pretty cool. Probably realistic. These guys are facing the wrong direction now. Might want to turn around here at some point. And yeah, the Immortals seize the objective, and both units are a little bit battered. We'll have to see if these guys go in and try to finish them off. Alright, Red Leader 9. I think that's the pikeman. Pike Captain Arthur Draconis going to move forward his formation. He's a level 3 leader, so he's also going to command the archers to come with him. And the archers are going to open up into skirmish order so they can keep up, because these guys will get that bonus of an extra 5 dice. The archers and the pikemen have crested the hill. They're up on the plateau. I only got stabbed out 4 or 5 times, maybe those guys. All right. That's pretty good with the archers. They're combined with them. They're nice and safely tucked behind the pikemen, and we'll start getting lots of arrows coming flying out of there. Here's a look down the battlefield from the south side. Pike City. I see a little bit of my blood on the end of those pikes. Nah, it didn't break my skin, thank God. And then way down there, Immortals. Only about 14 feet away. Blue Signet card, they got 2 now. Red Leader 4. That's the heavy spear. They're going to move forward. But it's slow going, trudging through the mud. They move forward obliquely. Since it's not an ambush and they do have a card in hand, if the Berserkers of Odenheim do come at them, they all have time to snap together and raise their shields. In fact, their officer's he's a level 2 leader, so he is going to move them into closed order with his second command. Last thing they want is a debacle like the light infantry just had with the Immortals of Shubia going tearing into them. All red, baby, red 5. It's from Melvin Garrett. He's going to throw javelins at the foot sergeants, and then he's going to wheel kind of backwards and try to shore up his flank here. Chucking 26 javelins at those guys. Eat this! I was debating about raising shields before that with spending a Signet card, but too late now. 9 hits. Let's see if their armor holds up. Medium armor saves. Five shock and a kill. Now we'll do the wheel. They fall back. Kind of watching their left as the Osmani and nomads are coming out of the woods. Coming out of the woodwork, baby! Don't know, they can attack all different types of directions. Blue 9. Oh yeah, it's Rolf and the Berserkers of Odenheim. Kind of look in the distance here. They do have a fence they have to cross over, so they're going to lose 1 dice. They're going to take a play out of the Immortals book. They're going to go uncontrolled. They're going to play a card to step out. And let's see how far they get. So we did all the things here. The Berserkers were a couple inches short, so the 2 outside groups both had to spend 2 fervor to go the extra distance to get there. The inside group had to spend 3, so each group's got 2. So they hit with a ferocious charge into the heavy spear. They spend 2 Signet cards, one from the deck, one from the table and one from their hand, to turn it into a aggressive attack. Heavy spear were already in close infantry with spears, which basically negates all of that crap anyway. And they brace their shields now. They spend a Signet card to do that. So I got to figure all this out, but I think half of these things are going to negate each other, and it's just going to be, let's see what happens. Very close dice pools as the heavy spear with their presented spears and with their close order and their shields brace, they negate the aggressive attack and the ferocious charge. I do have to split off a bunch of their dice for defense dice, but yeah, and the Berserkers of Odenheim will reduce armor by 2 down to like no armor, so this could be brutal as all get out. And every kill they get an extra fervor. Here come the Berserkers of Odenheim looking for 5s and 6s. Pretty brutal. 5 6s, 8 5s. All kinds of damage. Let's do the defensive dice for the Aurelian Spearmen. Great defensive job by those guys. They reduce 3 of the 6s and 4 of the 5s. So that's going to keep some guys out of some body bags. Come the Spearmen attacking back at the Berserkers in their heavy armor. They might have left the door open there as they're only able to get 4 6s and 1 5. Now we'll get 4 armor saves. Two of the hits get through, so they're going to lose 2 Berserkers and take 3 shock, which of course will be ate up by fervor. And there's going to be a second round of combat here as the both sides lose 2 guys. It's tied, so we're going to do this again. Here comes the Barbarians swinging hard, baby. Barbarians continue to reap through them, baby. They're just hacking and slashing. 6 6s, 5 5s. It's fate. Defensive dice from the heavy spearmen trying to stay alive. They get rid of all the shock in 1 kill. 5 of their guys are going to die. Here they are swinging back at the Barbarians. Three 6s and 2 5s. Barbarians have to do armor saves. They got their armor at Kmart. Oh, no saves. So they take 3 dead and 1 shock. No, 5 shock. Heavy spear will lose the engagement with 5 dead and 5 shock. On a 1, the Thane is hit. On a 1 or a 2, the Knight is hit for the Aurelians. The Berserkers win. All their fervor's gone. They have 2 groups with 1 shock. Of course, had some casualties. The heavy spearmen are shoved back 5 inches. They've got 5 shock on 2 groups and 4 shock on the other. And of course, they've taken some casualties too. We got a bad thing for warrior group pushback in combat. The Aurelians are cool with that. Didn't expect them to beat the damn Berserkers of Odenheim anyway. These guys are insane. Woo! Blue 2. They're going to move forward 2d6. That's the High Constable or High Sheriff, whatever he is this week. Red flag, first one. Ooh, that's their High Sheriff. He's going to move forward and just to get in line with the pikemen. And he's going to order these archers to fire a volley at the mounted knights. Blowing the horn and waving the banner and getting all fired up. Here come the arrows. Oh yeah, unleash hell. 12 arrows. Have fun, buddies. Five arrows find their mark against heavy armor. Two more shock, taking those mounted knights up to 4. Red leader 3. Sir Arthur Wall, the foot sergeants, I got some shock to deal with. Hang on. He's going to pull one shock and advance his boys. They move forward 8 inches, getting close to those light infantry. Blue 8. Osmanian Nomads, the Iman, he's going to run his guys 3d6 and try to get into javelin range, attack the Immortals. They pay the penalty for crossing the wall, but get close enough to shower down, what, 30, oh gosh, 35 javelins. The Book of the Knight's got no answer for this. Oh, the Pasha probably got to call his insurance broker again. The guy's always on the phone with him. I'm going to give him on call block. Lose my number, loser. "14 javelins find their mark." Let's see how this medium armor holds up. They got to make tougher pajamas than that. The Pasha's prayers to the night god come true. None of his boys are killed, thankfully. Oh, he's so happy. But there is 6 more shock are piled into the Immortals of Shubia. So you got 3 shock, 2 shock, 3 shock. Not looking good. They're getting flanked, even though these guys are facing the wrong direction. Doesn't take much for light infantry to turn around. Blue 4. It's the Time Warden's comeback. Sir Mordred Pace and the heavy spear for the Timordians, moving forward 2d6, taking a pip off each dice. They make it to the top of the hill. Oh yeah, we're getting ready for a brawl. All they can see is pikes. Good luck, baby. Second red Signa for the Aurelians. Ooh, the foot sergeants. He's going to step out too. He's going to try to reach the heavy spear, but it's not for sure they're going to make it. Timordans only have 3 flags in hand, Signa cards in hand. They're going to go ahead and not change formation or raise their shields or anything, just because these guys might roll all ones and be a waste. Laughed. Oh, 5 inches. Sad. Before they departed, he used his second command to order the skirmished crossbowmen to move forward too. Crossbowmen keep pace with the foot sergeants. And there's the Tempest Fugit. No cards on the deck. No one's going to blow one out of their hands. They need those for emergencies. For the time being, the Immortals of Shubia are still holding that far bridge, so they will get a bonus, and Aurelians will go up to a 10 force morale. Sorry about the camera work there. I was looking down at what I was doing, and the Timordans are at 9. Little round recap. The Berserkers of Odenheim have lost all their fervor, but they've driven back the heavy spear of the Aurelians. Kind of maybe overextended themselves. Get the foot sergeants to actually push past the Berserkers to their right, supported by their crossbowmen. Still got the Barons kind of trailing behind his pikes. Probably not a bad idea to do. You've got a good wave there, a good solid wall of pikes and archers and foot knights in the center for the Aurelians. Countering them with Timordans are the heavy spear. Mountain knights are getting peppered. Foot knights on the way up. They might need to fall back to not get blown to pieces. Foot sergeants are advancing. They left their guys behind. They chose to pull shock instead of bringing their archers with them. And then we've got the... Oh, I've left a Osmanian nomad by himself here. Hang on. Just enjoying nature there, kind of chilling. They're here. The Osmanian nomads have moved in and they're throwing javelins like a boss at the Immortals of Shubia, who defeated the light infantry of the Time Wardens that drove them back. And then you've got archers back here. Sorry about my knees. Woo! Good fight. They're kind of outgunned, man. They've got the Immortals have got 3 units on them, even though one of them's facing the wrong direction. All right, next exciting turn. Starting off with a blue flag action. Both sides still have 3 Signet cards in hand. Oh, the Baron for the Time Wardens. All right, Baron Cassian Hellsworth. He is going to pull 3 shock and then use the Signet card to step out, and he's going to basically move off the front line back this direction. No point being a frontline troop, but for the time being, he can do a charge later on. So he'll move back to the right here with 1 shock. So they fall back behind the crossbowmen just to get out of the way, and they are down to 1 shock. And they spent the 1 Signet card they had in hand. Red Leader 8. That's the Pasha. He needs to get back to the point where they have some fervor. He is going to pull 2 shock, and they are going to move away, uncontrolled, away from the enemy, so that the shock won't affect them at all. See if they can get behind this house. Well, that's some crappy uncontrolled rolling. One unit only went like 2 inches. But they shifted to the left here. We got some of their troops behind this building. They kind of moved out of range of some things, but no, they're still in trouble. But they're partially behind this building, still holding on to the objective, just because those guys are facing that direction. Second they turn around, it's it'll be contested. Red Leader 3. The foot sergeants are going to charge the heavy spear. The heavy spear are going to spend a Signet card on their way in to brace shields that will negate their charge. Actually, let me think about that. No, they're not the Time Wardens aren't going to spend any Signet cards because these guys won't have a ferocious charge. They won't have an aggressive attack. So there's no point closing formation. They'll just they'll take it like a boss because there's nothing to negate. But these guys on their way in, they will order the crossbowmen to fire a volley at the Time Wardens on the way in. They could spend a card to raise shields. They have to spend another card to put the shields down because it's a big negative if you go shields up. If you get charged with that, so that would be a 2 Signet card spend. They've only got 3 in hand, so I think they'll save it for a rainy day. They're just going to take it like a boss. So they're going to get 12 arrows. They're going to reduce armor down to light armor, and then they're going to get charged, but it'll be just a regular charge. With the level 2 leader, 14 crossbow bolts coming in on these boys. They rolled all the 1s and 2s. Good job. 5 arrows do, or bolts, find their mark, lowering these guys down to light armor. So 2 on one group, 2 on another, and 1 on another. All 3 groups will take 1 shock. Now these guys will move into contact. Unless they roll double 1s, they'll make it. That was the most sorry butt charge I've ever seen. It's like a guy charging you uphill in a wheelchair on oxygen. It's like crawling towards you. 3-inch move gets them. They were like a 1/4 inch away from not reaching the charge. I just kind of leveled them out to make it look more cinematic, but that was pathetic. I hope they get their butts handed to them with that lack of effort. They're like, okay, we'll charge them. And with both troops being, 3 groups of 8 regular troops, drilled troops in the open with enemy in front of them, and then both having level 2 leaders. They both end up with 32 dice apiece, the exact tie. They're both in medium armor. This is just going to be down to dice rolling and armor saves, and just straight up, who wants it more? Who's got the luck of the dice? I could split it up and do 3 separate combat, but where's the fun in that? We're throwing all the dice and see what happens. Eurylians going first, looking for 5s and 6s, baby. Not too bad. They get 7 6s and 6 5s. Tymordin swinging back. I don't know if that's natural or not. Dead draw going into the armor saves. That's going to decide who's got the better armor on them. Eurylians saving first. They get 5 armor saves. Let's see if the Tymordins do the same thing. They will have 1 additional casualty. They save 4. They get 3 of them get through. It's going to go for another round. We got a chance that both leaders are hit on a 1 or 2 for the Eurylians and a 1, 2, or 3 for the Tymordins. Sir Hubert Skinner's hit. Let's see what kind of wound he gets. Light wound goes down to a level 1 leader. As we go into the second round of combat, the Tymordins took 3 casualties. All 3 groups have 4 shock. Eurylians lost 1 casualty. They got a leader wounded down to a level 1, and they have 2 shock, 3 shock, 2 shock. So we'll recalculate the dice for the second round and we'll go for it. Eurylians have a few more dice than the Tymordins on this one. The 4 armor saves, 6 6s, 8 5s. Gonna try to shock them out of existence. Heavy spear, trying to fight for their lives, literally. They pull out 7 6s and 3 5s. Can they, Eurylian armor hold up against it? We'll see if the Tymordins will go first. They've got to make 6 armor saves, medium armor. They were able to save 2. 4 of them get through. Eurylian armor's got to make a bigger call here. I think they got 7 of them. Five kills get through. I think both leaders are in trouble. 1, 2, 3, or 4 the Tymordin Knights hit on basically a 1 through 5. The Eurylian Knight gets another hit and he probably will be slain. Fighting for his life. Sir Hubert Skinner freaking fights that blade aside. He doesn't take the second wound to die. The other knight, unfortunately, Sir Mordred Pace, joins him in Wounded Land. He takes a wound. Let's see how bad. Sir Hubert Skinner deflects the attempts to kill him and then just lunges forward with his sword, going right through the faceplate of Sir Mordred Pace. He is instantly killed. Level 2 leader left for dead on the battlefield. He put his foot against his helmet and pulled his sword out. Let's put all the shock down and the dead bodies, and we still got a bad thing for Skinner's bleeding all over the damn place. Nobody's concerned about hepatitis in this time of the day. So technically the hand-to-hand would be a draw, and they would stay locked in combat, but we're going to have some units falling back due to excessive shock. We've got 8 shock over here with 6 guys, 8 shock with 5 guys, and 7 shock. Oh, they actually will stay, which is not good for them. And then the Eurylians have got 5 shock across the board. which they were able to hang in there, but oh. So we'll do all that and see what we got left. So we'll have formation broken, 2 groups withdrawing due to shock, and these guys are left engaged with far superior force, and their leader is killed. So yeah, we'll figure all that out. I'm going to start off with the easier one. Euralians, their Baron was wounded, level 2 leader wounded in combat. They will lose 1 force morale, dropping down to 9. Oh sweet, formation broken is not a thing in this game for bad things. Yay, that's a sharp practice thing. So we'll have 2 warrior groups pushed back in combat and a level 2 leader killed. Both forces are actually in range of their bannermen, so let me double check that I think they still lost a -1 with that 5. These guys might even do even better. Yep, no effect for any of that. Their dice rolling was supreme anyway, so wonderful. So we're on to the next card. Red Leader 4. It's exactly what you didn't want. Alright, so that one group has got to fight all of these guys. That's going to be a wipe. This is going to be horrible. They will have 4 times more dice than these guys, so they will defeat them automatically. They'll advance 2 inches. These guys are 2 inches away. Oh, they could fight. Look, I'll have to add up the dice here to see if it's 4 times more, because these guys can be supported by these guys. They're only an inch away from each other. Yep, they will achieve the 2 dice rule for all that. So this unit will advance down the hill and destroy this entire formation and wipe them out in 2 separate combats with automatic 4 times their number. So those guys will advance down the hill and wipe out all 3 groups in succession just because of the 4 times rule. Those guys were able to generate like 3 dice with all the shock they had. They were basically combat ineffective. Just too tired. Too tired, too wore out, too many casualties. These guys are pretty freaking exhausted themselves. Someone else can come over and wipe them out. But right now they are victorious, and we got 3 warrior groups wiped out. Still goes down to 2 3s and a 5 due to being in range of their banner, which will end up being a -4 to force morale. Knocking the Timordans down to a 5. Blue Cigna. Or red Cigna. I went and took the red leader 4 and took him out of the deck. Oh, sorry, it's a red 2. That's High Lord Terrence Wood, the High Constable. He's going to order all 3 of these groups to move forward. The High Sheriff has moved up. The pikemen continue their plodding advance, unstoppable, creeping doom. Bowmen stay behind them to support them. High Lord kind of flanks a little bit to watch out for these men-at-arms to their left over here, these foot sergeants, and they have seized the objective at the crossroads. Where's their Baron? He's pleased. He's back here chilling, but he's very happy with the progress. Second blue Cigna card. And we got 2 Cignas for the Euralians as well. That's 3 in a row. If we get one more, we got a little bit of fun stuff going on here. We will. We got 4 Cigna cards here. They can have a little bit of a shock pulling fest here. We'll have a random moving event for the Lord here. Mob or formation may move 1d6. They kind of moved as a formation, so they're going to see if they can reach these guys here. So this is going to be a massive attack. I don't think I have enough dice. We're going to have the Foot Knights and the Pikemen in hand-to-hand against the foot sergeants, and you're going to have light infantry and archers supporting the Aurelian attack. This is definitely going to be David versus Goliath. Aurelians are packing a hell of a punch. They get all those attack dice. They get that many defense dice. They get extra from the martial training of the knights, and they get the extras from the pikemen for the first round of combat, as they just get you from the distance. Aurelians attacking, the Time Wardens attacking back with this amount of dice. It's not quite a wipe. It's not 4 times, so we'll have to roll this out, unfortunately. That was going to be fun. Savage hand-to-hand. Oh my gosh. Good luck, guys. It's going to be horrible. Aurelian and the pikemen going in. If you have a seizure disorder, look away. The sad part is I really think they underperformed, but they got 11 6s and 10 5s. Now the Time Wardens, I feel like they left the door open. The Time Wardens with a good roll could be right back in this. If they defeat this giant force, that would be awesome. 6 6s and 5 5s. The big thing is going to be right here. Here's the armor saves from the pikemen and the knights. Not the best defensive dice. They do get rid of all of the shock that the Time Wardens would have done to them. So just the kills are left. We'll get armor saves now across the board. Unfortunately for the Time Wardens, they are in medium armor and the entire Aurelian force is in heavy armor. The Aurelians making their armor saves, 6 of them. 2 kills, get through. Oh, now here come the medium armor saves. 1 million of them for the Time Wardens. 6 kills for the Time Warden foot sergeants. On a 1 or a 2, their knight is hit. Two of the pikemen are hit. Their leaders aren't in either group. They got hit, so no chance for a leader being hit in this group. We'll divvy out some shock. So the foot knights ended up with 1 shock on them. This far group over here lost 1 point of fervor. They're down to 1 fervor. 2 pikemen died in the middle, and the Time Wardens got absolutely crushed. These guys have to fall back 6 inches because they're extra shock from getting defeated in hand-to-hand. These other guys fell back too, but they also had excess shock, so they interpenetrated the crossbowmen, bleeding off 2 extra shock each, knocking the crossbowmen up to 4 shock. So you're going to have warrior groups defeated in combat, and then you're going to have guys falling back, at least 2 groups. No, we're all good. It's just 3 warrior groups pushed back in combat. We can live with that. These guys will all get a +1 to this roll to help them out. Bonus from the bannermen, they just end up with a -1. They'll fall down to a 4, and they'll lose a Signa card, unfortunately. Blue 8. The Osmanian nomads feel the center about to go. They're going to, since they're a skirmish group, they're going to turn around and come back this direction. And they're going to try to get within javelin range. And they'll spend a card to step out, so they'll get a 46 of movement. Instant reinforcements as the Osmanian nomads come tearing up the road, just with all their javelins going crazy. They're going to whip them at, they're going to throw them at the main formation with the knights and the pikemen. 35 of the good ones coming at you in your face. Good luck, buddy. Actually, they can't reach the pikemen. They're going to hit the light infantry and the knights. Only thing in range. 12 javelins hit those 4 groups. They're spread out over, each group takes 3 hits. Not the best killing rules. They put 5 shock on the light infantry, nothing on the knights. 2, 2, and 1 on those 3 groups. Red 5. That's Sir Melvin Garrett and the light infantry. He's going to go in and scrum it up. The Osmanians, they don't want to run. They're going to take it. It's like a half-inch roll to engage in hand-to-hand. They're going to fight it out. On the way in, Sir Melvin Garrett is going to form back into use one command to form back into a regular formation out of skirmish order. They're going to move to engage. That'll be their second one. And then he's got 2 flags. He's going to use 2 of them to pull a shock. They're also going to play the Deceiver card so they can throw an extra, their last set of javelins on the way in, and they'll be out the rest of the game. As they close in, the Osmanians are going to go ahead and throw another round of javelins just at them as they close in. And that'll be their last round of javelins. And they're skirmishers. They're going to fight in skirmish order. So before the hand-to-hand, we're going to have about 1,000,000 javelins going back and forth as they both expel their last rounds of javelins. Of course, the Osmanian nomads could spend their fervor, if they're still going to have any left, to get another one back. But I don't think their fervor is going to survive this nightmare. First up, the Aurelian Light Infantry throwing their 20, what do they got? 26 javelins. 7 javelins against light armor. They get 1 kill, 5 shock. They're going to negate all of the fervor and put 1 shock on 1 group. Before they're hit, the nomads throw back all their javelins. "14 hits spread over 3 groups in light armor. Two kills and 7 shock. Oh, brutal. They're all going to end up with 4 shock on each group. Now we do the hand-to-hand. These guys will be supported by the Timoran infantry over there. Well, I'm not sure if they even qualify. They got so much shock. I'll double check that. And the light infantry will be supported by the foot knights. Yes, they're over 50% strength, so they will support. This is going to be super close. Here comes the Aurelians and then the Osmanian nomads. Aurelians going in, needing 5s and 6s. Nine 6s and 4 5s for the Aurelians. Oh, brutal. Let's see what their first hand-to-hand with the Osmanian nomads can bring to the party. They went the other way. They played the psychological warfare game with 4 6s and 9 5s. All kinds of shock. All right, armor saves. Everyone's got light armor. Aurelians trying to save 4. Their armor doesn't save crap. You're looking for 6s here. Here come the Osmanians trying to save the world. They were only able to save 1. Oh, they're going to lose the hand-to-hand. Let's see what the casualties look like. On a roll of 1 to 2, the Iman is hit. He's wounded. Let's see how bad. A light wound, so he's a level 2 leader now. On a 1 or a 2, Sir Melvin Garrett is hit. But wait! The Osmanian nomads, an assassin jumps out of the rank. Now it's a 1, 2, 3, or a 4, and he's hit. Sir Garrett dodges the assassin's knife. Oh, he's so excited with that headgear. Alright, so let's do some casualties and figure out what the hell's going on. So that combat must have just been horrific, and these guys are freaking grossed the hell out. Even though they won, these guys have excess shock. They fall back 2, they fall back 2, they fell back 3, I think. So they got 8, 8, and 9. 2 units interpenetrated the knights on the way back, dumping off 2 extra shock each, putting them up to 5 shock on the knights. The Osmanians fall back. Their leaders in there. The Iman's got a first wound, and you've got 4 groups, 4 points of shock on each group as they fall back 4 inches in defeat. So no one wants another taste of that bad boy. Technically, the skirmishers lost the hand-to-hand combat. Nobody cares that they're pushed back, so that's no force morale there. These guys won the combat, but were just pulled back because of excess shock. So there are no bad things to roll at the end of that nightmare. Oh, leader 3 wounded. Forgot about that one, the Iman. He is too far away from the banner. That'll be another -1 and lose another signet card for the Time Wardens. Ah, the turn mercifully comes to an end. 2 signet cards here. The crossbowmen are going to fire into the foot knights, and the skirmishers are going to move back forward again. Or Time Warden Light Infantry, sorry. He only had 1 command and could move 9 inches, so they moved back up there, contested the bridge. So now no one gets a point for that one. 12 crossbow bolts will slam into those foot knights. So hit the group next to them. Three hits per group, reducing armor from heavy armor to medium armor. Pikemen and the foot knights both lose a guy. Foot knights go up to 6 shock now, which is and the pikemen lose another point of fervor, and they're down to 1 on this far left group. So there you go, and that's the end of the turn. What a freaking mess! Oh my gosh. The Osmanians, actually, they both gain a point of both will get a point. Barbarians have controlled that one down there, so each side will get 1 extra force morale. We're at 10 and 5. The Time Wardens will get another one of their signet cards back from that, from losing one earlier. And there's the table. What a mess. Oh, all right, man. Next turn coming right at you. Can't be too much more brutal. The dead boxes are getting absolutely insane. Time Warden's stacking up in there. Really, it's not as bad. All right. Blue 8. That's not good. Oh, I'm going the wrong direction. It's my fault. I was about to say that's not good for the Time Wardens, but actually is good for the Time Wardens. Woo! Long day at work. The Iman's like one of their last effective fighting forces. They're going to spend 3 signet cards in hand, plus his 2 commands, and pull 5 shock out of this nightmare. The Time Wardens no longer have any signet cards in hand. They do have a spy card still that works as a signet card for their infamy card, so they're in business there. The front 3 groups all have 2 shock, and he has 3 shock now. Ooh, let's see what these guys can do. Blue leader 1. All right, he's a level 4 leader. He's going to use the spy card to step out. He's going to use 1 command to fire those crossbowmen up the hill at the pikemen. Let me think about the next move. Another command will be to bring in the plague doctor to cure the Iman of his 1 wound. So that'll be 2 commands. Third command will be to move And then the 4th command will be attached to these guys on the way. And if they have enough movement, they'll hit these guys in the flank. The doctor is in. The plague doctor heals the Iman. He's no longer wounded. He's back to being a level 3 leader. And a little bit creeped out. Probably going to file an HR complaint against this guy. Just not so good. They gallop across the battlefield, get the other foot knights to join them. A little bit angled to try to prevent a flank attack from those guys, but they aren't able to reach the foot sergeants. So there they are, they're 1 unit, and now we've got 12 crossbow bolts going into the pikemen, reducing armor by 1. 7 crossbow bolts pound into the pikemen, reducing their armor to medium armor. Ended up doing 2 shock to the center group, taking away what was left of their fervor. The outside groups both have 1 shock each. Alright, next up. Oh, it's all blue. Time Warden's trying to make a comeback here. He's going to move away from that nightmare, so the shock won't pay attention to him. He's going to try to use his 2nd command to recombine his unit. And they will still have all their shock, but at least they'll be out of harm's way a little bit. He has reconsolidated his broken formation back here. Still got 6, 7, and 6 shock. But they're back together, one happy family. They're actually being protected by a crossbowman unit, which are inferior warriors. But at least they can't get killed piecemeal like the heavy spearmen. Oh man, I don't think there's any red in this deck today. Oh, I talked too soon. Ooh, they need to pull some shock. These guys are big time combat ineffective. Level 2 leader. He's got 3 flags in hand. He might have to spend them all and pull 5 shock. And they spend all their signet cards and they're down to 3, 3, and 3 for their 3 groups of spearmen now. Blue 6. Time Warden archers. They're going to fire 14 arrows up the hill and scatter between the foot knights and those 3 groups of light infantry. Four hits. Each group takes 1 arrow. Group has a guy killed. They fall back 3 inches. This group gets 1 shock. They fall back 3 inches. And those aren't bad things at all. Only if it's on hand-to-hand and infamy. Whew! Timordia. They've got 1 last round of javelins. So he's only got 1 command, so they're going to command them to throw their javelins at the immortals. Eight javelins hit the immortals of Shubia in medium armor. Terrible javelin tossing. They just do 2 points of shock, 1 to each one of the front groups. They have 3 on each of them, and we have 2 points of shock back here on the rear group. Little red 5 action. He's going to spend 1 move to 1 command to move back, and then 1 command to combine his unit, and then he'll start working on trying to get these guys back to combat effective. But this war will probably be over by the time these guys are combat effective again. They pull back to here and kind of regroup a little bit. Red flag action. Red 8. Mortals are going to fall back some more. The Pasha is going to use his other 2 commands to pull 2 shock and then use the other flag to pull another one. So each unit will lose 1 shock. Another pathetic fallback, but they fell back far enough where they lost control of that point there. So that's 1 for the Time Wardens. Down to 1 shock, 2 shock, 2 shock. Red 2. He's a level 3 leader. He's got a ton of shock to pull. He's going to use the 2 flags and his 3 commands to get him down to 1 shock. Whoop, they lost those 2 flags, sorry. Got 1 more red Cigna. 2 red Cigna. Ooh, the Baron. Baron Rory McFarlane, he'll move forward and then he'll get the crossbowmen to move forward as well. For his 3rd command, he'll have the crossbowmen fire a volley at these guys, and he'll use the 2 flags to darken the... Or is it 1 flag? Hang on. Sorry, they'll spend 2 Signet cards to darken the skies. They're going to counter that, the Heavy Knights, and they're going to raise their shields with 1 Signet card. Five hits, going down to medium armor. They put 1 shock on each group. You know, every drop counts. Blue 2. He's already gone with the other leader commanding him, so he'll pull the 2 shock. And he'll put their shields back down for being raised. Don't want to get charged with those shields up in the air. Oh! Where are these guys at? These guys got to wheel backwards so they don't get attacked in the flank. He's only got 1 command. There's no flags available. It's not looking good for the home team. They're able to get turned. They're able to get within support range of those guys. Oh, looking pretty solid here, the Aurelians. The Tempest Fugit and no flags out there, so the turn wraps up very nicely. The Timordans have 2 points they control, the Aurelians control 1, so we end up with a force morale of 11 for the Aurelians. The Timordans climb back up to 6, so not too bad. The Berserkers of Odenheim didn't get to go that turn. And you see the Aurelians are tighten up their stuff. Timordan's kind of scrambling down here. These guys are trying to reform into some kind of unit again, as well as the Osmanian nomads. A lot of units just trying to recover right now. Alright, next turn. Start off with a lot of Signet cards in the deck now. Everything's in there. It's going to be some random events going on. That's a blue red 6. That is the Aurelian archers. They are going to unleash a volley on the crossbowmen. Try to break them down. 14 shots going in hot. Not the best show of marksmanship. 3 hits on light armor. We rock in a whole point of shock on them. Not too concerned, but they are up to 6 shock now. It's kind of building. Second red flag. Ooh, that's the pikeman. Pike Captain Arthur Draconis gonna order his boys forward. They don't have any shock. They've lost some fervor though. Going to do his regular move, and he's going to step out. These guys can act like a skirmish group, so they are going to evade. The joys of flexible drill. They do fall back in skirmish formation, and these guys will now advance 1d6 plus 3. And then, 2d6 plus 3 because they're stepping out. Probably wasn't worth the evasion. Those guys wouldn't have reached him anyway. They just get to the crest of the hill. Kind of holding steady right there. Blue flag. Red 3. That's the foot sergeants. They're going to use the 2 Signet cards plus this 1 command to pull 3 shock. All 3 groups are down to 4 shock, and they're holding that ridge right where they were before. A red Signet card. Well, that's the foot sergeants for the Time Wardens. They're going to spend the Signet card and use their 2 commands to reduce 3 shock as well. They're down to 5, 6, and 5 shock. Second blue Signet card. Ooh, the Baron. Definitely calling in Brother Maynard, just where to put him. Brother Maynard's going to do some preaching to some non-believers, see what he can do over here for the Immortals of Shubia. That's exactly what those boys needed. A couple of them might be converting. They pull all the shock. They're totally even now. No shock at all. With the Baron's 3 other commands, he pulls 2 shock from the Foot Knights, then orders the crossbowmen to fire into the Knights. 12 shots, reducing them to medium armor. My missile fire has been pretty crappy this entire battle. 1 hit each group. One shock each. That's something. It's a blue 6. Sir Lothar's archers, they will fire 14 shots. They'll spend the 2 Signet cards and darken the skies and hit the Knights. The Knights will respond with 1 Signet card and raise their shields. Six hits in medium armor, heavy armor. They kill a Knight, which is awesome. Take him up to 2 shock. Nice shooting from back there behind the trees. Blue Signet card. Red Signet card. Blue 5. He's saying screw it. He's going in. He's only got 1 command, so they don't have any javelins left. They're going to run in and try to attack the Immortals of Shubia. Kind of feeling if they didn't go in now, the Immortals would just tear them up in a second here. They've got the good book, and they got and they got Brother Maynard there. It's like a religious yin and yang happening. All right, let's add up the dice. It's probably horrible. Both of these light infantry groups has 3 shock, and the light infantry do have a slight advantage with the drilled troops with in the open. So, and the Immortals not having any fervor. Here come the Time Wardens, stabbing like there's no tomorrow. Not too bad. They get 6 6s and 5 5s, hitting into medium armor. Mortals fighting back with their typical, hopefully, savagery. The Immortals choke big time. They're confused by this new religion they're underneath. Just 2 6s and 5 5s. Armor saves for the Immortals. Medium armor. They're only able to save 1. Oh, 5 of them are going to die. It's going to be horrible. Let's see if the Time Wardens can make 2 armor saves with their light armor. 2 of them are going to die. The Knight with the light infantry on a 1 or 6 is hit. The Pasha is hit on a 1 or a 2. The Immortals are blasted back to almost the start line, almost cut in half with their numbers, on the verge of breaking. Light infantry are victorious. They don't have to fall back, but they're pretty bashed up with 5 5 and 6 shock on their groups. They definitely have control of the force morale point here at the bridge. We'll get a bad thing for warrior group pushback in combat. -2, taking the Aurelians down to 9. Second Cigna. Third Cigna. Oh, big 7. Crossbowmen have already fired this turn. They have no shock to pull. Oh, actually, he can pull shock from the group in front of him, though. He'll pull a shock off them. Second blue Cigna. Ooh, the Baron. He's going to use 2 commands to get rid of their 2 shock. Use the 2 Cigna cards, or the 1 Cigna card to step out. And then they're going to use what they got left to make an aggressive attack. They are out of Cigna cards now. Let's see how far they get. They might not even reach the target. It's a long run. Alright, the Foot Knights can't get close enough to support. The Knights go in and they're charged. They get an aggressive, they get a ferocious charge and they get aggressive attack. So they reach the target against the Foot Sergeants. The Foot Sergeants have, there's 3 Cigna cards, so they're going to close formation. Brace shields, and they're going to have the crossbowmen fire on the way in. So they will get 4 hits on them with the crossbow bolts as they come running in against medium armor. Kill a mounted knight, put 1 shock on, they negate the aggressive, the ferocious charge. They still get the aggressive attack bonus. And then here we go. The Baron's going all in, so he's doubling his dice. He's putting in like 8. They get 2 defensive dice from half their knight number for their martial training. This will be the Foot Sergeant's attack dice, and they'll take this many defense dice and try to survive this round of combat. Here come the Knights. I'm gonna try to chop these buggers up. Knights get 5 6s, 2 5s, and they block 1 kill. Aurelians attacking back. They get 4 6s and 4 5s. Now for their defensive dice. They don't unfortunately block any kills. The 2 shock that the guys were both, the Knights did encourage them without the 6s, are blocked. The Knights go ahead and knock off 1 of the kills from the Aurelians with their defensive dice. We'll do armor saves. Heavy armor saves times 3 for the Knights. Just 1 kill gets through to them. 5 medium armor saves for the Foot Knights. Not for the Foot Knights, the Foot Sergeants. 3 kills get through. They're going to lose the hand-to-hand. 1 in 6 chance this Foot Sergeant Knight is hit again. He'll be killed. But this guy doubled up, the Baron, so it's a 50-50 chance that he gets nailed. Foot Sergeants lose the combat. They have 4 shock for each group. They'll fall back. That'll be a bad thing. No excess shock, so the crossbowmen don't worry about that. These guys win the combat, but they have excess shock of 1, so they fall back an inch to the bottom of the hill. That's a -1. They're going down to 8. Blue 7. So light crossbowmen, they will fire 14 shots at the pikemen. Four hits, reducing the medium armor. Removes another point of fervor and kills one of the pikemen on the left. Oh, they haven't gone forever. Barbarians. Hell yeah. He pulls both shock they have, and then his last command orders them to charge. Uncontrolled. This might be a bit of a mess for Berserker. Just one group reaches contact with the 3 of these. The other 2 groups fall into supporting. So, okay, let's see how many dice end up coming out. Berserker's kind of choked there. 2 6s, 3 5s. The 6s will kill 2 of these spearmen with no armor. The heavy spearmen get 8 6s and 3 5s. So we're going to get 8 heavy armor saves from the Berserkers of Odenheim. 4 kills. Oh, be a 1 or 2. The Thane is hit, and then a 1 in 6 chance for the Knight for the Eurylians. The Thane is hit. What kind of wound does he get? He drops a level down to a level 2. 3 of his guys will die. Heavy spear barely holding their position. They do win the fight. We got 4, 5, and 4 for their shock. The Berserkers all have 3 per group. They'll lose. We'll get a bad thing for group pushback in combat. Actually, 3 of them. Is that 1 or 3? I guess it's 3. Yeah. It's weird that you get defeated, but you have 3 groups. Well, I think I've done that. I'm trying to stay consistent. I think it's 3 of those and then 1 level 3 leader wounded. I got to put that wound out too. That ends up being a 6-point morale switcheroo. They go down to 1. Oh, wow. Did my math wrong. They actually lose. They go from 6 to 0. Oh, what a weak way to lose. Oh, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. It's probably getting near a 2-hour battle report anyway, so... Oh. Didn't think they'd... This could have got a bit more of that charge in there. You got to go for it, though. If you don't go for it, you don't win. I think I was kind of sitting back with the Eurylians, and it was letting the Timordans get back into the battle, and I was kind of like, ooh. And Timordans did not want to make that same error that I was making for them. I was like, screw that. We're going in, baby. Send their knights in. Send in everything, man. It was a good fight. I enjoyed it. I think I got everything I wanted out of it. I hadn't done any hand-to-hand with all the ACW stuff. It's hard to get in there with all the long-range weapons, but yeah, mission accomplished. Closer than the force morale that's on a 6 versus an 8. I mean, 0 versus an 8, but they just got whooped on that last force morale, and that's the way it goes. And yeah, I think there would be still some fight left in this group. That's why we're going to refight on the same map, or we're going to use Oathmark for the first time. So I'm going to take a day. It's Tuesday now, and then I'll get set up, and we'll see what kind of points I can generate and what kind of Oathmark formations I can just turn these guys into. All right, we'll see you soon. Hope you enjoyed. It was a pretty good Slaughterfest as far as I'm concerned. Talk to you soon, guys. Have a great rest of the week.